Hello.
And welcome back.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Yep.
Joy in my life.
I've got the joy down in my heart.
Down in my heart.
Where? Oh, I'm too close to the wall right now. I need to move.
Julie, this is our 7th episode.
Sorry.
We should really know what we're doing by now.
We should know our spot. Oh, man, I left my Pringles on the other side of the room. Oh, well, I shouldn't be eating it now anyways.
No.
Welcome to Halloween.
Spooky. Scary.
Ooh. Do you want to hear? My brother taught me this really cool skill where I can sound like the wind. Ready? I don't know if it'll work in a microphone. Close your eyes.
Me?
Everyone.
Okay, I'm closing.
No, it's fine. Wait, I'll go faster.
Wow, is that the wind?
No, it wasn't it. That wasn't it.
Sounds a lot like whistling. I mean, it's cool. I just don't think it sounds exactly like the wind.
It sounds exactly like the wind. I'm humming and whistling at the same time.
I'm working on it.
Harder than it looks, though.
Yeah, it does. Oh, that's so spooky.
Now, there you go. It's hitting you. As
Now-
spooky as my eyebrows. I have to apologize. I was Waluigi 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's true.
My eyebrows are mad. In a good way. It's Halloween week, and this is our first ever Halloween themed episode. I'm so excited. It's actually coming out on Halloween, which means that we can theme the crapola out of this. I've lost it.
Spooky ghosts, murders. Hopefully not. Clue. So what character? Okay, on 3, what character do you always play as in Clue? 1, 2, 3. Miss Scarlet.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before. Because remember Vivian Scarlet?
Oh right. Oh. Okay, what was
Not her name. That's not her name.
That's not her name. Okay, I always associate that song with Horrible Bosses.
Oh, yeah. They call me Stacy. Oh, man. Charlie Day is hilarious.
He really is. I love him in It's Always Sunny, too. I love that show.
It.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. So good.
So good.
Let's talk about past Halloween costumes. Topic number 1.
Okay, I distinctly remember me being the Teletubby Tinky Winky.
No way.
Yeah, but like there are no photos of me as it, and my only memories are of me in the costume, so I only remember being purple.
Huh.
Yeah, but I was like 3, mind you.
Yeah.
So like I don't have distinct memories about it. I remember this one girl I knew. She was a friend of mine. She went as French fries.
Oh, that's
like
good.
McDonald's French fries.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I was also jealous of this girl in kindergarten.
I was gel-ish.
This girl in kindergarten came with a pink ranger outfit, and she had the mask and everything. Are you kidding me? Stepping up her game.
Man, did your parents buy you costumes?
Yeah, they bought me costumes, but
You
it
were
wasn't
loved.
like it was like there was no like fancy masks or anything like that. I remember my brother had one of those Scream masks that like bled blood.
Yeah. I remember when that movie came out, none of my family had seen it. Like we're generally not a scary movie family, but I remember everyone always told me I could make the same face as the Scream guy. I was like in grade 5 at this point, mind you. I'm not making it now. It's unbecoming. Okay, fine. I don't remember how I did it, but I remember I was like,
it's really cool. You're like, okay, I'm not doing it. Okay, ready?
I need to keep up my image. Wait a minute, this is my image. That's awesome. I was never even allowed to watch Power Rangers, so I wouldn't have been jealous of them.
Oh, really?
Jealous.
Jealous.
That is a hard word to say.
Well, I had a brother 6 years older than me, so it was like Power Rangers.
That's true.
I didn't even know about Treehouse until I was like 5 years old.
What do you mean Treehouse?
TV?
Like we got that channel. I lived on TVO Kids. Come on.
I didn't know about I only knew of YTV as a child.
YTV.
Yeah, because like
we
that
didn't have
was
any of those.
That was like older kid shows like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. So
Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon.
You teach me and I'll teach you Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. I played Pokemon Red like obsessively. Not when it first came out, obviously, because I never played video games. But many years later, I was like, oh, John, my brother John. I was like, here's Pokemon Red for your birthday. Happy birthday. And then he played it. And I was like, okay, are you going to keep playing this? And he was like, oh, yeah, I will after I beat this one game on his, like, not Game Boy, obviously. And I was like, wonder what this game's all about. Gets obsessed, plays it all the time.
So amazing. You didn't play video games much before that, though, as a kid?
Nope.
That's so sad.
Well, like,
what did you do?
I
like,
watched my brother
go
play a lot of video
outside,
games.
or-
Oh, I played a lot outside too, because I have a twin, right? So it was like I always had somebody to play
Yeah.
outside with.
No, we played outside a lot too. But we were big into the NES and then the GameCube and then, well, I mean, before the GameCube, the PlayStation. Anyways,
You know those like gymnast ribbons you'd get from like the
Yeah.
dollar store that you could easily make but never did?
yeah,
That was like me and my sister's jam. That could be anything, yo.
yeah.
Could be anything.
That's so good. We always we had this huge tree in our front yard. And we had like certain parts of the tree, like the tree was our house, right? So in certain parts of the tree was like, that's Tanya's room, that's Aaron's room. My room was usually like
The roots.
the roots, literally. But I mean, at least I got to play.
you,
That's how I always thought of it.
you were born last, so
I was the maid, really. I was always the maid. And when we played in our, like, we had an actual like playhouse that my dad built us, and I always had to live under it because I was the maid, so I wasn't allowed inside. Yeah.
Rough childhood as the youngest.
But like
sib.
the thing is, yeah, I look back and I'm like, that was so rude. But while it was happening, I was like, at least I am getting to play with them. This means it's a good day. They love me now.
Right?
I think.
Yeah, I get along a lot better with my siblings now than I did before.
For sure.
Yeah. Did you ever do family Halloween costumes?
Because
Because I didn't, but I
think so. No.
I always thought it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Because you see like Neil Patrick Harris and his perfect family
Oh,
doing perfect family
worst.
costumes. Okay, rub it in my face, Neil
Yeah.
Patrick Harris. You and your perfect family.
Great. You're all cute.
Ugh,
And you're perfect.
great.
Ugh, the worst. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are. I know. I'm like, why can't I have your life?
I remember my favorite costume when I was a kid was a crayon. I was a blue crayon.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is delightful. This is my favorite one.
I'm finally who I'm meant to be.
It's
I
so
finally
true.
feel whole in my
I have
own
never
skin.
felt more myself than on that day, for sure.
I always remembered. Oh yeah, good closing the door skills.
I even did it, so it didn't make a sound.
Nope. My dad had this like mummy mask. One sec. He had like this mummy mask that outside was like spooky, scary, whatever. It's a mummy, but it was like really graphic, right? And it had like stretched skin over the mouth and these little eye holes and like gooiness, basically. And he'd turn it inside out and wear it reverse because the inside was flesh colored.
No.
And then he'd hide behind like cars in our driveway and waited for like teenagers to come up to the door. We'd give him like the signal and he'd be like, they'd start walking out and he'd be like, my face is melting.
That's so scary.
Help me. He got a kid to like
Oh
jump
my
a foot in the
goodness.
air and he was like, today I have lived more than most men have lived. He'd only ever do it to the teenagers, but like my dad
Yeah.
lives for Halloween. He and my sister decorate the house all the time. We never get any kids though, is
Oh,
the thing, because
no.
our area is like mostly college kids and old people, so
Right.
it's like we don't really get any kids. Like they're like, we were talking to Noah that one day in class, and we were like, "Oh, do you get a lot of kids on your block?" He was like, "Tons." I didn't even think that happened anymore.
Yeah, I know. We went down when we were trick-or-treating, it was like, I don't know, 50 to 70 kids. Now it's like, we're lucky if we get 15.
I know. Like, where are all the hundreds of kids? I
Yeah.
want them back.
Well, it's just because probably the neighborhoods we grew up in were booming neighborhoods for kids and now we're all not teenagers.
Well,
We're adults.
probably.
When I was in kindergarten, my first costume that I can really remember was a pumpkin. It was back when they used to sell those like garbage bags, those like big orange garbage bags that had like pumpkin, like jack-o'-lantern faces or whatever on them.
Yeah.
And anyway, so my mom just cut like holes in it and then like tied it around me. And that was my costume. And I had like green stockings on and a hat of some sort. And then she stuffed it with newspapers. It was like my pride and joy. And I remember I went to school that day and I got so hot in it. And they were like, okay, you're hot. Why don't we take your, like, we're going to take your costume off. And I just like cried my eyes out because I loved that costume so much. And I had to take it off because I was hot.
You were like, no, I'm super cool right now.
Okay. I'm okay. I just need a drink of water. I'm good.
Just leave it. Don't touch me.
I'm just gonna step outside.
Okay, that cool with you? That cool with you, kindergarten teacher? Okay, I'm just gonna.
I need a smoke break.
I just need.
Let me just stick my head in this freezer.
But I'm cool.
I'm good.
Cool. I just really like the cold.
We're good. Yeah.
I'm just not cold enough right now.
Yeah.
I'm not hot.
I'm not hot. I'm not.
Get away.
Oh no! I just splashed water on my face. It's not sweat.
It's. Yeah.
I'm fine. It's cool. No, but yeah, I had to take it off. It was sad.
Yeah. What was your favorite? That was your favorite ever Halloween costume?
I mean,
what's your favorite?
well, that or the crayon. I was Wednesday once from like
The Addams Family.
Yeah, and like that was the perfect year because my friend was Morticia, so
It
was just perfect.
That's so cool.
Oh, I remember one time in grade 5. Yes, it was grade 5, and this one girl had like a Halloween party for our class at their parents' marina, and it was so fun. And I remember I dressed as a cat for that, and like I was such a weird kid. Why did you guys not get me tested? Anyways, I crawled around the entire night at this marina on the ground like a cat. I'm just thinking, this is the first time I've thought back on that. I was so weird. Like, no wonder. But yeah, I crawled around and would just like paw at people, and then they'd be like, "We get it, you're a cat." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." You know it.
Glad you got it.
Those were all fun. I was like in character though. I think it was just foreshadowing how dramatic I was going to be in a good way. Like, you know, I could be an actor any day.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. And then as an adult though, my favorite costume, I dressed up as Britta from Community as a cool cat. Remember when she dressed up as a cool cat? So I had like my sunglasses on, I had cat ears, my leather jacket, and then my hair looked exactly like hers. And like everyone used to tell me that I looked like her, and I was like, I'm dressed up as Britta as a cool cat. It was great.
Costumes.
That was my favorite adult one. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have pictures of that? I didn't see them in any of your scrapbooks. That's all.
It actually, I think it was in my scrapbook.
Yeah.
It would have been 2 years ago. It was.
I'll have to go through your scrapbooks again. I love them so much.
I make a scrapbook of my year every year.
It's so cool.
Like, it's legit though. It's bound and like, it's
like,
pretty sweet.
It's really sweet.
Blurb.ca.
Okay.
Shout out. Give me discounts. What about you? Favorite as adult, favorite as a kid?
As a kid, I was a witch a lot. Seems pretty basic, but it was a good run for me. I can't really remember any adult ones that like really popped to mind. Art Attack.
Oh yeah, that was great. We talked about that last week.
Did we? Yeah. Art Attack was pretty sweet.
That was a great one.
Like
it was so witty.
Like it's just
it was great.
Like that's my legacy. Art Attack was my legacy. It's all downhill from here.
She shall be remembered for this costume.
And I'll be like, no regrets.
On your tombstone, it'll read Candace Wright, once dressed as Art Attack.
It was pretty
Twas
sweet.
great.
Copyright. Do not steal my idea. I was the only one who be Art Attack.
Must pay royalties if wanting to dress up as this. Would you be dressing up like if you weren't leading kids programs?
Oh yeah. Before I was Princess Bubblegum one year from Adventure Time.
Love it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. The crown didn't really have the staying power I wanted it to, and the wig wasn't exactly the way I wanted it, but I was still Princess Bubblegum, and it was still super great. But the thing about it is I handed out candy that year. It wasn't even like a fun go do things together thing. So, I mean, but I still have the dress, so now I can be like whatever I want, I guess.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent a couple years in with friends, like when I was older than like a couple years after high school. I went trick-or-treating until grade 12 because I was like, well, I got to make use of this.
Yeah.
But after that, one year me and my friend dressed up as people from the 80s, but then we just hung out at my house. We went somewhere. I think we went to a friend's house and watched not scary movies because I didn't let anyone. I'm a horrible friend to hang out with on Halloween. But one year I spent in watching The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, which is just the best Don Knotts movie ever.
Yeah, that one's a funny one.
I
haven't watched it in a while. We should watch that again and eat guacamole.
Oh, I saw this this thing on Pinterest that I want to make. It's like a pumpkin that's just has a face that looks sick on it, and then like a bunch of guacamole in front of it, and then like all the chips around, and it looks like the pumpkin got sick and barfed out guacamole, and I want it all.
Genius. I need to do it.
I showed my friend that, and she's like, ew, that looks disgusting. I'm like, no, but it's guacamole. She's like, yeah, I know. I hate guacamole. Oh, cool.
Fun.
I think it looks amazing, and I want to eat it. I didn't know. Okay, I was at my cousin's house yesterday for dinner, and my aunt was like, yeah, I'm making tacos. Do you like tacos? I was like, how's that even a question? Obviously, I love tacos. Tacos are amazing. So good. And then, anyways, they put guacamole on their tacos, and my mom had never put guacamole on our tacos, and this was like, this is a whole new world right now for me. This is a new Julie. Can you tell? Yep, it's because I've had guacamole on my tacos now. It's amazing.
Amazing. I'm into that.
Have you ever had that? Oh.
Well, I don't usually eat tacos personally.
As soon as that came out of my mouth, I'm like, wait a minute.
That happens a lot to people though, so don't feel alone in it. I'm a vegetarian for those who don't know. Like a pescatarian if you want to be technical about it, but nobody ever knows what that is, which means I eat fish.
I know.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, nobody usually does. I just usually go, I'm a vegetarian, but I also eat fish. And they're like, oh, okay. They just accept it. And I'm like, good talk. I've had a lot of people be like, oh, so does that mean you're vegan? And I'll be like drinking milk at the time. And I'll be like, yes, it does.
Maybe don't ask that question if you don't know what the word vegan means.
Scott Pilgrim, chicken isn't vegan?
Oh, man.
Loved it. I remember this one year in high school, me and my one friend, Taylor, we went costume shopping together, and we were like joined at the hip in high school, basically. She came into my life in grade 10. It was like Clouds and Angels songs or whatever. And so we went costume shopping at Value Village together, and I got this Viking costume and she got this pirate costume. So we were going to be pirates and Vikings, but the hat was too small for my Viking head. So I was like, fine, I'll just be Ice Princess because it was all glittery silver, glittery.
Yeah, okay.
So, and like fuzzy. So it literally passed.
Yeah.
And she was like pirate, and it was like super cute. We looked really cute that Halloween, I'm just saying. And we go to school, and there's these two girls who are always attached at the hip they're same grade as us, but we never really talked to them at all.
No,
they were
not.
pirate and Viking. I was like the exact same ones too, like no variation. And then they got all mad because we stole their costumes, and I was like, we don't even know you.
Yeah. Oh,
you don't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. That's funny. Whenever we shop at Value Village, we call it Value Village. So that it sounds fancy.
That's pretty fancy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the what is it? Like middle class moms who are like going to Target.
Yes. Value Village. Gonna hit up the local Value. I don't know.
Value Village. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that from now on, just because I'm a middle class mom as well. So I go Target.
You know. So what did you do with your candy as a kid?
Oh, me and my sister, we shared a room. So we're
okay. Wait, walk me through your night. So you're going out.
Yep.
What's your game plan?
Our game plan is we hit up the neighbor's house beside us because she always had specific bags for the kids in the neighborhood.
Oh, I loved those.
So we hit up that one. Mm-hmm. Then we hit up. We go to our neighbors. We get in the car. We go to my one Oma's house. We go to my granny's house. They're both across town, but I have to see them on Halloween apparently, so that they can see how cute I am in my costume.
Which is so cute.
So after that, we go to we usually went trick-or-treating with my Aunt Lori and her 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd hit up all around that area, which is like more kid-friendly area, so they have more candy.
True that.
And then we'd come home, and then we go down our street.
Wow.
Up and down our street.
You did
and
a
then,
full night.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Go big or go home, you know?
Not kidding around. This is Halloween.
Yep. That was when we were like, that was typical for about like 4 or 5 years. After that, it was like kind of like, okay, I'm going with my friends now. Peace, sucker.
See ya.
We'd do like we'd walk around like wherever my friend's house was closest to. We wouldn't do like this, like we'd go for about an hour and a half maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd come back and we'd do the candy swap.
Walk me through that magic.
You don't mess around with candy trades.
So
You started out, of course, with your sibs. My brother, not into it. He was like, I'm 6 years older than you, so my candy is my candy. My mom was like, any chocolates you don't like? Right here. My dad was like, Raisinets. Which I'd always be willing to forfeit because those suck.
None of us wanted Raisinets.
No. He was like, I love chocolate-covered raisins.
Dad's always like the worst ones.
I know.
My dad always wanted the Tootsie Rolls. I'm like, by all means.
Tootsie Rolls are great.
They're the
love
worst.
Tootsie Rolls.
Ugh.
Okay, so then me and my sister had bunk beds, so we'd get onto the top bunk.
So
obviously.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
And we'd like basically pillowcases, dump. We'd just dump them out onto the bed, and then we'd be like, okay, I'll trade you. For one, Reese's are never up for grabs. If you're willing to trade a Reese's, that means a lot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You don't just trade Reese's around.
They're kind of a big deal.
They're
around
kind
here.
of a big deal. They have to, yeah. Especially with peanut allergies, no one really gives them out anymore. So when you get them, you're like, yes. Ready. Cans of pop, those are not up for grabs either, unless you have one can of pop that someone like hated and they had a pop that they like, you know what I mean? Like I don't like root beer and my sister would have cream soda, swap-a-roo. That's what happened.
How did you still have pop left? If someone gives it to you, you drink that right away.
No, we saved it.
We'd be like, oh, good, a roadie. I needed this. We were all about that. They knew.
They knew. No, we save them for the candy swap. So we trade
Nice.
pop cans, crack them open, ready
Smart.
to go. Here we go. So
we needed more energy at that point.
all right, serious business talk now.
Can't wait to get home and crack open that new soda.
Yeah. Oh, I've been waiting for this one all day. I just need it to relax.
Nice cold cream soda.
Yeah.
Beer, heavy on the root. I don't know when I turned into a country singer.
We're giant nerds is basically the summation of this. Anyway, so me and my sister would do the candy swap. That was like training. That was like kid stuff. All right. Here we go. When you get older, you start trick-or-treating with your friends, not the friends who like keep their candy to themselves. I had a couple years where you were like, it was like, okay, your friends have candy, you have candy, you don't do the swap though.
What?
Yeah. I've had a couple years like that where some friends you're just like, you're close enough to go trick-or-treating with, but you're not close enough to do the swap. Okay. This is serious business.
Oh no,
all right?
yeah, I'm in.
Candy trading, that's a once a year.
Okay.
Now the real business starts when you have at least 2 friends going with you.
Mm-hmm.
You got 4 different piles of candy going because it was me, my sister, Taylor, and my friend Mariah, right?
Yep.
We're all in Taylor's living room. Boom, dump out the pillowcases. Here we go. You don't trade Reese's. You don't do it.
Did they know?
Oh, they know.
Oh,
They know.
they were in on
because
this
they'd be
too.
like, well, Reese's are magic.
Right.
Right. Kit Kat's also high on the value scale, but I mean, like, you get like 1 million of those. So it's not really a big deal if you lose a couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You lived a different life than me.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, it was the neighborhood for sure because I don't think we got as many Kit Kats as you did.
Freaking rain down Kit Kats, basically. Got Kit Kats all over the place. Rockets and Tootsie Rolls, that was like your pawns. That was like your chess pawns.
Yep,
Bye,
they were the pennies.
bye, see ya. Laffy Taffies, those are okay as well. Those like, what you're trying to do is get rid of your terrible candy. And only your fool friends will take your terrible candy.
Those little caramel like cubes.
Yeah.
Take them.
Take them. Those gums that look like eyeballs. I had fun breaking my jaw and having flavor for 2 seconds. Here you go. Those candies that are like, they had witches on the wrapper and were orange and tasted like garbage.
Ugh.
Bye.
those plain suckers, like that are just regular suckers.
You're sitting there like, no.
I don't even give those to people. I throw those right in the garbage.
Yep.
Don't waste my time with this.
You're always seeing those candies on your dresser in the bottom of the pillowcase next to all your empty candy wrappers at like the end of November.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I have left to take to school today? Green sucker, yellow sucker, Tootsie Roll, and one of those eyeball gums. You're like,
Not even worth it.
Chips. Usually you just take chips out of the pile. Honestly, we just chips were cool, but we like took them out of the pile to sort through the candy.
Okay.
We were like, okay, everybody has chips. We'll keep the chips. Salty business. Good. We're focused on the sweet treats here. Those like, what are they called? Jolly Ranchers. I was not a fan. I was like, I'll trade you like 7 Jolly Ranchers for a Kit Kat. I don't like Jolly Ranchers.
Oh, wow.
Break my mouth. And they were like, yeah, sure, sweet deal. And I was like, sucker, I hate Jolly Ranchers. Basically, candy swaps are a big deal. And once it's settled, like it's settled.
Mm-hmm.
You don't take people's candy when they go up to go to the bathroom. You don't mess around. This is serious.
Not even an option.
No.
No.
This ain't Monopoly. This is serious. You don't just
This is real
cheat.
life.
Yeah. You can cheat at any board game, but you don't cheat about candy swaps. Friendships are on the line.
Come on.
So yeah, that's my big night. What was yours?
All right.
What was yours like?
So this is the game plan. Get your pillowcases out. We've got layers on to start because first of all, we're in Canada and it's Halloween, so obviously it's the coldest day of the year.
Obviously.
So
would you have it any other way other than when people can't see your costume?
Yes. So am I a princess? I don't think I ever dressed as a
Princess?
Yep. I don't think I ever dressed as a princess, but just for example's sake, am I a princess? Oh my gosh.
Princess?
This is going to be worth it. Am I a princess or am I just a winter coat?
Who knows?
It would have been funnier if I got through that the first time. So yeah, you got your layers on, even though you know after your first round around the block, you're going to be taking that off.
Oh yeah.
But this is what we do. So we go down my entire street on like the left side.
Yeah.
And then we come, like my street was a horseshoe onto another street. So we go down the horseshoe, hit all of the side like circles that are attached to it.
Yeah.
Get back on the main street, come around back to my house, dump out because our bags are full.
Yeah.
Take one layer off, go down, go around the next side.
Yeah.
Amazing. So then there was the one house that gave out candy apples, like freshly made.
Wow.
Yep.
Before the razor blades?
Yes. She
Or
was
they
a sweet lady.
candy coated razor blades.
Yeah, it was more like that. If they were just like tiny grenades coated in candy.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Delicious.
your classic
Delicious.
candy apple.
Yeah, just the usual. The one like my mom's best friend's house, who was also her kids were like my siblings' best friends, gave us like the big chocolate bars. Hit them up.
Heavy spender.
Yeah. So that's pretty much, I mean, that was the block. If we wanted more, we would head over to the other side of like the main street and go through all those, which I think my brother did like almost every year because he was a beast. But I was generally a tired Halloweener. So like I make it twice around that block and I'm like, yep, that's good. I had a lot of candy. Anyway, so we all get home. This is what happens next.
This is where it gets real.
This is where it goes down. Oh, and we would make the trip too. I was reminded to my Oma's house, but we would usually do that before around dinner time.
Yeah,
and
it was still day out when you did it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And she gave us
you
like
usually are like the first people who trick or treat.
Yeah.
You ever trick or treat at your own house? # every year.
Oh yeah, you make it back, ring the doorbell. Your mom's like, oh, ready to go, trick or treat. Gotcha. Again.
You like
wait till next
you're like,
time.
okay, mom, going to go trick or treating. You like step outside the door. You like turn around immediately, ring the doorbell. Trick or treat, mother.
Got you. Yeah.
She's like, no, these are for the trick or treaters. I'm like, Mom, let's not pretend you haven't been eating these and you've had to re-buy trick or treating candy.
Last year was my sister's.
At least I'm in costume.
I tried. My sister's. It wasn't her first Halloween last year, but she made the mistake of buying Halloween candy at her house like 2 months early, or maybe a month. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks.
2 months.
I was trying to give her a lot of credit.
2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks. She bought a lot of candy ate it all, bought a lot of candy again, ate it all. And then on the third time, she's like, I'm just going to buy it on Halloween day. This year too. She's like, I can't buy it ahead of time. I just can't. I'm going to eat it all. Anyways, that was a side story. Yeah. So my Oma also gave us like, she would give us some from her bowl. And then she would also give us like giant candies and like a bag of chips, like full size. Because these are my grandchildren. Anyways. Yeah. So we would get home end of the night, dump out our pillowcases. I'm realizing now that we were like weirdly organized kids. So we would take all our candy and like organize them in perfectly set up like pyramids depending on what chocolate they were. So I would have a pyramid of O. Henry's. I would have a pyramid of Kit Kats.
Oh yeah. We separate them out. For real.
But like neatly.
Okay, maybe not neatly. They'd be piles, but
yeah,
not neatly.
No, we were like, this was like like our Barbies could have lived in this like land. I don't know why I'm reminded of that, but anyways, it was a big ordeal. And we would all have our certain corners of the living room. And then we'd go through and there'd be specific things. Okay, all my Mars bars go to mom. All my Tootsie Rolls go to dad. Aaron
Mars bars are the worst.
Oh, they're the worst. So bad. Like, I don't even want those.
Why?
It's my mom's favorite.
Why?
Weirdo.
Parents.
They have the worst taste.
Snickers. My mom always liked the Snickers too.
Oh, those were the worst.
I'm like,
Three Musketeers. Like, don't
don't
waste my time with this.
What are you doing?
So in our house, Reese's Pieces to you was O. Henry's to us.
Oh wow.
Those
really?
were like, I'm not giving you O. Henry's.
Hey,
These are mine.
What?
They're my O. Henry's. What? And those like the cookies and cream ones that you would get, or like the Hershey's. Those were gold.
You don't trade those for
and Caramels.
anything.
Actually, we
Really?
loved those as kids. Yeah. Those
Caramels were like high on the pyramid, but they weren't like untradeable. Those cookies and cream, untradeable.
Oh yeah,
higher than untradeable.
Yeah,
like you don't even get to look at these. They're they're still in my pillowcase. You don't even get to see them.
I said they're mine.
Yeah. You take them out for a second just to be like, hey, I got 8 cookies and cream Hershey's, and then you put them back in. Not for you though.
Just so you know.
Sorry about all those Tootsie Rolls you got.
So then my brother was always like super into those little gummy hamburgers.
Oh,
those were his jam.
That should have been your first clue.
So no, I hated those. So I was always like, take them. So he got those. Tanya was into Jolly Ranchers. I remember that. And what was the one? Oh yeah, I hate Starburst. So whenever I got anything Starburst, I was like, take it.
The Enzes are a hugely different world than I.
It worked well though, because we all had certain ones that we hated, and then a different person would love that one. So like it was locked down. System. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we would put it all. I mean, chips. Yeah, chips were chips. Like you just put those all in a separate bag and take it out like once a day.
Yeah.
But like we loved our chips too. Remember when we were kids and like the chip bags were reversible? Like the inside had a pattern on it too. Comment if you remember that, because that was a thing. I know people will remember that. Maybe I'm old.
I don't know. I just don't remember a lot of chip bags, to be honest.
Oh,
I mean, we didn't. I got a lot of Pringles when I. Ooh, those tiny.
Oh yeah,
tiny cans of Pringles.
You know it's on when you get that.
You have like one, and you're like, hey, look what I got. Not for you.
This is the golden ticket. Those were the ones where as soon as it drops in your bag, you're like, you're walking down the driveway already eating it. You're it's like, gotta get this in before anyone steals it. I remember one lady too one time gave me a bunch of pennies because she said I was cute. I was a fairy that year.
Oh yeah. Oh, were you a fairy princess?
No, I was just a fairy. I had like the wings and I had a wand. I was like a fairy.
That's good. You got a bunch of pennies though?
Yeah. She was like, you're cute. Here's money.
You're like,
she was super old, and I was like, this is just pennies. It means nothing, but thanks. Can I have candy?
Did you just forget to buy candy, or
she had candy for my siblings, but she was like, you're getting money.
You're like,
this means nothing
bogus.
to me. I'm 5.
Yeah. This means less than nothing to me, woman.
Yeah, can't do anything.
How many candies?
Actually,
can I
we
buy
could,
with
because we had the Tropicana behind us, which at the time sold penny candy still.
Oh yeah.
Which I was thinking the other day. Like, kids won't have the luxury of penny candies anymore because pennies don't exist in Canada.
No, they don't. They still 5-cent candies, though. Those little...
Like, I have time to make 5 cents when I'm 5 years old. I had penny candies.
Double bubble... the double bubble chews.
Do you remember when those...
little comics in them?
Do you remember when they had Spice Girls stickers in them?
Ooh, yeah, I do.
We always use those as license plate on our Barbie cars. So all our Barbie car license plates are Spice. They were perfect.
I always read those little comics that come in the inside of them, and I was like, and I would always like be like,
They were,
oh, I have to chew the gum because I need to read the comic. But I was always like underwhelmed by the comic. I just needed to read it though. Oh,
They were good. My sister found her old diary the other day and was reading it. And she had like 5 pages of just those comics taped in there. She's like, I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't understand. My friend was moving and she found in her what her Bratz safe, the brand Bratz.
Oh my gosh.
She had a Bratz safe, or it was Diva Stars. I can't remember. Yeah. She found her diary inside of that, and it was like it was the most ridiculous stuff. It was like just notes from class. It wasn't even like diary.
Oh.
Or it would be like pages that were like, Dear Diary, I guess I'm writing in you now. I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about. Good talk. Bye.
My first
grade 5 was a trying time.
So much going on, nothing going on. My first diary entry ever, I was in grade 3, and it says, we just got back from Manitoba. Manitoba was not spelled correctly. I just ate chips. Chips spelled CHEPS. Think about that. When we were in Manitoba, we visited our cousins.
Chips.
They had 15 cats.
Ooh, priorities.
They lived on a farm.
That's my Auntie Nettie too, actually.
They
My
were all
one
just
aunt.
born, yeah.
She has so many cats. It's unreal. She has like 6 indoor cats and like unknown amounts of outdoor cats because she lives on a farm.
Yeah.
They just have babies and she's like, cool.
Yeah. That was the end of the diary entry.
Yeah.
My first, it was grade 3. That's all I
She
had.
had 15
I ate
cats.
chips. I just like how that
Chips.
was like, I was like, that's still true probably in all my diary entries. I just ate chips. It's all that matters.
This one girl I work with is like so skinny, right? And we're like, I'm always like, you don't really like, you don't like eat a whole bunch of like, you're so picky and you're like, but you just eat chips all the time. She's like, yeah, the doctor says I won't gain weight until I like have any kids. And I don't know if I'm ever going to have any kids, but if they open me up, I'd probably just be chip grease inside. I was like,
true. Chip grease and like popcorn, that would be me. My doctor was like, do you eat, what did she say? I don't know. Somehow we got on the topic of bacon. Who knows? I was like, I ate a lot of bacon. She's like, that's good. Keep doing that. I was like, okay. But now I found the deliciousness of turkey bacon. I'm sorry, because you cannot experience this. But if you're eating meat, try turkey bacon if you haven't yet, because it is just glorious.
glorious.
It's amazing.
Whenever
it's so good.
Whenever I make turkey bacon clubs at work, I always think of you. Or BLTs. Whenever I make BLTs,
Did
I'm
we
like,
discuss this already? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, turkey bacon, turkey plus bacon.
Yeah.
Okay, for a minute I was like, what? Tim Hortons says turkey bacon?
No. So close.
Ugh.
No, but whenever I make BLTs at work, I'm like, Julie would love this.
Mhm.
Julie would love this BLT.
Mm-hmm.
Julie's all about BLTs.
Mostly at like midnight.
BLTs, guacamole.
Oh,
That's her life.
that's delicious.
BLTs and guacamole.
That and like pasta, but I always make sun-dried tomato pasta because
I love pasta.
I love it.
It's my life.
Yeah.
I was tweeting my friend earlier. I was like, oh, what should we do tomorrow? And she tweeted a picture of pizza like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, we got to eat that pizza.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that was her response. What should we do tomorrow? She just sent me a picture of pizza.
But I was like, that needs to happen. And then her sister actually tweeted at me. She was like, oh, you like, I said something to her and she was like, you like, I guessed her trivia right. And she was like, you win, you get like a crown and all the veggie lasagna. And I tweeted her sister back immediately and was like, just kidding about the pizza. We need veggie lasagna. I need it. I need it. Like as soon as you're reminded of foods you love, you're like,
I need that now. Yeah.
This is it. This is all I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
You're all I ever wanted. You're all I ever needed. Yeah. So tell me what to do now when I want you back. Sorry, in sync break.
Have you ever heard that? I can't remember if it's NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, but one of them has a song that's called "That's What She Said." And like during the time when we were all obsessed with The Office, grade like 11 and 12, and like "That's What She Says" jokes were all the rage. I remember I heard that song. True. I heard that song and I was like, oh, this is hilarious. But then the song's so serious and it's like, that's what she said. And it's like this ballad. And I'm like, excuse me?
Guess that's what she said.
My dad makes that's what she said jokes all the time, but it's just about like, you'll just be having a conversation that will have nothing to do with any kind of euphemism. And he'll just be like, that's what she said. And like he knows.
I have a friend who does that, but she doesn't get it.
Oh.
Like she knows what it's supposed to be about, but she'll never say it at the right time.
That's what she said.
Never. No, she'll say it like so confidently. You'll be like, oh yeah, I have this math test later, and she'll be like, that's what she said. And I'll be like, no, I don't think she did.
Try again.
I was like, oh, you're so well-meaning.
Oh man.
It's so funny though.
How was your high school experience?
Overall?
No, like do you have any specific hilarious or crazy stories that you did in high school?
Oh, I have this one story about my one friend's birthday.
Tell it.
It wasn't like anything bad, but basically we were like, okay, you know how it's a thing where you decorate people's lockers?
Totally.
In
That's
high
a thing.
School?
Yeah.
When it's their birthday.
Yeah.
So
we would put
we were
pictures of like the hottest male celebrity at the time.
Well,
This guy loves you. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
okay,
we'd do that, or we'd tailor it to like what would get the most rise out of them or something like that. Like my one friend hates Birdo from Mario.
Oh, Birdo's the best.
I think
friend.
I think
Check
I
your
explained
priorities.
I explained this at a previous podcast, I believe.
Classic.
And we just covered her locker in pictures of Birdo. We covered it.
So
it was
good.
so funny.
I love that.
She was like, "Are you kidding me?"
By far the best part of having lockers is you can just attack your friends.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah.
So basically, what we did was we got a bunch of streamers for her locker. This different friend, and we covered the outside of her locker. Now her locker was right beside mine, but still, I needed to put my stuff in her locker sometimes because my lock was like bunk. It was the worst. Sometimes I couldn't even open it. So I was like, okay, Taylor, I need to put stuff in your locker sometimes so that I can actually go to class and not have my stuff locked in my locker. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay, here's my locker combination. So I always had it. So we covered the outside in streamers, and then I opened up her locker and we covered the inside in streamers. And on the streamers that we taped on the inside, we'd tape like condoms. And it was funny because she was the biggest virgin at the time. And it was so funny because we were like, there was like 50 condoms taped to streamers in her locker. She opened it up and she was like, oh, you guys decorated my locker? And we were like, yep. And she'd open it and she was like, what? And we were like,
gotcha.
Here you go. Happy birthday. Basically, we did it the day before her birthday. We stayed after school, and we basically cleared out the nurse for our high school of all her like condom supplies because we weren't spending money on this. Yeah. We already spent money on the streamers.
We're out $2 now.
Yeah. I'm in high school. I have no money.
Yeah.
And so we were decorating it after school, and there was like still like these straggler kids there basically. And they'd walk by. They were like, what are you doing? We're like, we're decorating our friend's locker for her birthday. And they're like, are you putting condoms in it? And we were like taping them. We're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, here you go. And they just like hand us condoms. We were like, interesting flavors.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
But she opened it up and she was like, what? And we were like, ah. And she was like, very funny. We took pictures of it though, and it was legitimately hilarious. And AKA good birthday prank. Do pull that prank. 10 out of 10 would do again if I was in high school.
Yeah. Attack your friends' lockers.
Definitely.
Guaranteed fun.
Yes. Or they do the thing where they covered a locker in like construction paper and people would like sign happy birthday whoever walked by.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, they do that a lot too. But me and my friend group were not about dat life. We were about pain and mockery.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
Did you ever have those girls in your school who like put wallpaper on the inside of their locker? Like as soon as they moved in, they were like, I'm making this my space.
We never had like wallpaper, but we'd have like mirrors and stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we had some pretentious people at our school, to be fair.
Wallpaper.
Yeah. they're like, this has to be, my zen is going to be messed, I don't know, feng shui. Like, you know, it's my locker. Like, it just needs to be perfect.
I can't just go in between geography and English and not have this space for myself.
Like, it can't just look like metal or like wood. We had some wood ones.
Like metal or wood. It can't look like a locker. It needs to look like a tiny bedroom.
Yeah, it needs to look like a portal. Like, you know, it's like like a witch in the line in a wardrobe or something. Like, it needs to look magical. It needs to look like so nice. So
Mr. Smith was really getting on my nerves and like not sending out so many positive vibes about that English assignment we have due.
I just need to debrief my mind in my locker with my wallpaper.
Does anyone have some essential oils I can put in my diffuser? I really need some lavender calmness.
I'm just going to have a tea in between class.
If only
Just
there
real
was
quick.
Starbucks right beside my locker.
Just don't talk to me. I'm meditating right now.
Has anyone seen my cardigan? Janet, I'm looking at you.
I know you took my Toms too. So when I was in high school, first of all, I don't know why this just popped in my mind, but me and my cousin were for the first time in the same school starting in high school, and we thought this was just like the dream. We were like, this is gonna be so fun because we're the same age, but we lived in different cities. But then high school, we were in the same. So we would sometimes, like once in a while, we would go to the Avondale across the street during lunch, and for some reason at that Avondale they sold those like McCain cakes.
Oh
with,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know.
No, I know.
So we would buy one and just sit down with 2 forks and eat that for our lunch, the entire thing. We would like demolish it like every once in a while. It was like our thing.
That's hilarious.
Like, I don't even know where we came up with that idea, but one day we saw it and we're like, are you in? Yes. Just shoveling
No,
it
you
in.
joke, but me and my friends sometimes we're just like, I really need cake. And we buy those McCain cakes at the store. We're
Yeah.
just like, we need this. We need cake right now. Right now.
Yeah. So we
Good
ate a lot of that.
memories.
Also, one time, speaking of lockers, so there was this girl who I was friends with her, like not close friends, we were acquaintances. I go to my locker and like there's gum spread over my lock, and I was like,
Oh
no,
snap!
no.
You're a germaphobe too. You
Yeah,
can't.
I'm like, if this has been near your mouth or any like of any fluids from you, like no. I have to get a new lock now. Thanks a lot. Oh, it was like my world stopped in that moment that I see it. I'm like, I can't get anything else out of my locker today. This is horrible. This is the end. Anyways, so I was with my friends. I think we went to the bathroom for some reason, and then like we're heading out. And as I'm heading to the door, this girl we knew who did it. Yeah. I forgot that part. We knew who did it. I forget if like people were with her. She did it not as like a hateful thing. It was just like a, ha ha ha, this will be hilarious. But it's like that one thing that like bothers you the most. So anyways, so she walks in just as I'm walking out, and we're face to face, and like she opens her mouth to talk, and I just slapped her across the face. This is not my personality.
No, it's really not.
I don't think, I mean, in these moments, I wasn't even thinking, so I guess it is, but I just slapped her right across the face and was like, no, dude, like, no. I don't think I really said that much. I was just like, don't put gum on my lock ever again. That was the worst thing you could have done. And like, we just kind of looked at each other, and then we walked away, and like a week later we were friends again. So
Yeah.
high school, right? But that was my like that. I always think of that sometimes, and I'm like, that was such a like weird memory. Like, why did I slap her?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, I mean, it happens, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you slap girls who put gum on your lock.
What are you gonna do?
I never really had the huge high school drama thing.
That was about it for me.
It was like there was this in grade 10. I dated, like, I was going out with this guy, but it was like grade 10, so it's like meh. Anyway, I didn't know it at the time, but he had a girlfriend before he started dating me, and apparently I broke them up. I didn't know anything about I know I'm a monster. I'm a monster. Anyway, But I sat beside her and her friends in like this one class we had before all this happened. So I was like assigned seating. And all I heard was, what if we cut her hair off? And I was like,
excuse me.
what?
I'm sorry.
Now is the time for a pitch perfect joke. Can't you see I'm reliving something tragic? It wasn't ever like it never like bloomed into something like serious. But from that moment I was like, okay, this is pretty nuts. And I don't like this. And I was like, drama's never my thing. Like I've never been like a dramatic person. I was like, no, this can't be. Yeah. I can't function.
I need out.
No.
Switching schools.
Yeah. Bye. Needless to say, it didn't work out between us, but I'm really okay with that.
We've moved on.
I have pretty sure we've all just nope. I saw I saw a long time ago his like profile and someone like scrolled over it like in a comment or whatever and his header popped up and it was a Game of Thrones header and I remember thinking, you are not cool enough to be a fan of Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh. I feel that way about people sometimes too though. Yeah. It's like, you can't like that. That's my favorite thing. You're not cool enough for that. But then when people I like or like my friends like something I like, I'm like, it's because we're soulmates.
Yeah. We're meant to be.
This is just another reason.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's like, I have no idea. We never stayed in touch or anything like that. He could be a totally different person. I don't really want to get in touch at all, but like, maybe he is cool enough for Game of Thrones. Probably not, but I mean, who is?
I'm not. I've never watched it.
I mean, I'm not even cool enough for Game of Thrones and I still watch it. Seriously, watch Game of Thrones though.
I don't have the time. My sister
and don't have the time. Are you kidding me? You rewatch series all the time.
Yeah, but like that's because I don't have time to invest in another show. Yeah. Because that takes not emotional. I have room for that. Please. No, it takes more time to like, because when I rewatch shows, I'm not only watching, like I have to get things done, so I have to watch a show in the background. Yeah. So that's why I've gone through 6 seasons of The Office in the past 2 weeks. It's like I'm not just watching The Office. I'm also like on the computer and working and on a phone call and
watching The Office.
I'm super busy. Like I'm kind of like important. I'm a big deal, deal, people know me.
A lot of people know each other.
No, but like people. Like
people.
Like people.
The other day, like, Christopher and I were on a drive. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
I was just gonna be an idiot.
You're not an idiot. You're a wonderful soul. Okay. Me and Christopher were on a drive and he goes, cute. What would you... Yeah. Well, I mean...
Suck ya.
He was like, okay, what would you do if I were like... If I was like, Candace, come over to my house. We're going to have a dinner party. And I was like, okay. So he was like, what would you do if you came over and it was all your favorite celebrities? And I was like, oh, yeah? And he was like, yeah, like Tina Fey, and he couldn't name any of my others, but... He was like, Tina Fey would be there. And I was like, probably vomit. But I was like, Amy Poehler, Alec Baldwin. So many. The entire cast of 30 Rock.
Yeah, really.
Pass out immediately.
Yeah. So you would not like that?
No, I would love it.
Oh, you'd love it.
I would love it so much. I would faint.
I feel like I would never want to actually meet any celebrities. Like there's an episode of Community that portrayed my feelings so well, because Troy's like dream is to meet LeVar Burton from Rainbow. What the heck is that show called? Reading Rainbow. He like needs to meet LeVar Burton, or not meet. He's like, all I want is a signed picture, and then somebody like sets up that he gets to meet LeVar Burton, and he like runs away and cries in a corner, and he's like, I said I just wanted a picture, I didn't want to meet him. I'm like, that's what I would feel, because I would not want to meet them. I'd be like, because nothing I could do would live up to my dreams of what I should be doing when I'm meeting them. Like,
yeah,
I would just freeze or say something dumb. And like, really, I would want to be cool and be like, witty joke, witty joke, witty joke. And they'd be like, you're a really cool person. Come be on my TV show. And I'd be like, totally, this is normal. But like in reality, I'd be like,
hey, do you remember that time you made that show I thought was funny?
it was so great. I quote it all the time. I'm like obsessed. Like not weird obsessed. Just like normal obsessed. I like watch it every day. Okay, not every day. It's every day.
Just most days. I mean, I just... You're my computer's password.
You're the lock screen on my phone. I told my sister I wanted her. She posted a really gorgeous picture of her and her husband this week.
Oh, I think I saw that. It really was nice.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
I was like, I texted her. I was just like, I want to make that the wallpaper on my phone. Is that creepy? Yeah. Amy Poehler's new book came out this week. Amy
Have you
Poehler,
bought it
new
yet?
book. I bought it. It's coming Friday.
Yeah?
Because obviously I'm not going to buy it in a real store.
Well, no, of course not.
Amazon.
Okay, can you let me borrow that?
100%, son.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how you let me borrow Bossy Pants?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I read it at work all the time, so when I was on break, and then I was like, I can't give her this book back in this condition. There might be muffin crumbs in it. I eat a lot of muffins. And I bought you a new book and gave it to you.
You're kidding me.
I still have your Bossy Pants at my house, and I just gave you a new copy because
I did not even notice.
I was like, I can't give her a ruined copy. It's not ruined by any means, but I kept it in my purse too, so it was kind of crinkled and stuff.
That's fine though.
I was
I
like,
like specifically dog ear my books because I like to
No,
make them look worn.
I mean, like outside, but on the outside, and I was like so worried about it.
oh no! I hope you don't ever do that again.
No?
No.
Okay, I won't. But like, I was so worried, and then I of course I give you it.
I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
I'm actually stunned right now. I'm gonna go home and like smell it because I missed that chance now with this new book.
Sorry. But yeah, the day I gave it back to you in my car, I like ripped out of the packaging because I ordered it, and then I like brought it out, made sure the receipt wasn't in it, and then I was like, "Here's your book back."
It's too funny. I didn't
know. I didn't know if you were the kind of person that was like, "Oh, I love worn out books," or if you were the kind of person who was like, "If there's a single mark on this."
Why didn't you just ask me?
Because I was too nervous. I was like, "What if she's that kind of person?" I've read it so
I'm
much.
not even intimidating. I
No.
spit out my gum accidentally when I'm laughing, and you're too nervous to give me a broken book. Not
Okay,
even
but-
broken, a crummy book.
It wasn't like I was just worried. Okay, I was like,
Okay.
well, I'm gonna buy this book anyway, so I might as well just keep the one that I think is in
That's
terrible
true.
condition.
Oh.
But of course, a week later, you were like, we were talking in class one day, and you were like, "Oh, how do people feel about books or whatever?" We were discussing love, and Bailey was like, "I cannot have my books like out of order," and you were just like, "Oh, I'm totally opposite. I love my books like this. Oh, I love it when they're worn out," and I was like.
And you
Just
kept
gonna-
it a secret
just
until
gonna-
right now.
Just gonna sit here, look cool,
Oh my goodness, so amazing.
act natural.
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. What do I do with my hands?
What-
Where do my hands go?
What do I usually do with these?
That's too funny.
Do you want it back?
I'm gonna go look at it now when I get home. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
excited to get a brand new Amy Poehler book back too. There's a new standard. I'm just kidding. Don't buy me a new book.
Okay. But I was like, wow, this book's amazing. I'm gonna buy it. And then I was like, wait. No.
You can't even. That's amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, we're out of time with that great story.
I just dropped the bomb on you.
See you next week,
Okay.
sons.
Bye. Sons and daughters.
Family. Bye.
I love